Let me ask you something really simple. If I told you that waiting just 10 years to start investing could cost you over $300,000 by the time you retire, would you believe me? Most people don't. Most people think that starting a little late is not that big of a deal, that they will catch up eventually, that there is always time. But by the end of this video, I am going to show you the exact numbers, and I promise you, those numbers are going to change the way you think about money forever. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Max Carter, and if you are new here, this is the place where we take complicated money topics and break them down so simply that anyone can understand them. No Wall Street jargon, no confusing financial terms, just real numbers and real strategies that work for real people. If that sounds like something you need, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we drop new videos every single week, and you do not want to miss what is coming next. Now, today, we are talking about time. Specifically, we are talking about what happens to your money depending on when you start investing. And I want to be really clear about something before we dive in. This video is not just for people in their 20s. This video is for anyone who has ever said to themselves, I will start investing when I make more money, or I will start next year when things settle down, or I am already too late, so what is the point? If any of those thoughts have ever crossed your mind, then this video was made specifically for you. So let us set the stage. We are going to follow 3 different people today. All 3 of them earn the same income. All 3 of them invest the exact same amount of money every single month. The only difference between them is when they start, and that one difference, just the starting date, is going to produce results so dramatically different that by the end of this video you are going to want to open an investment account immediately. Our first person is Sarah. Sarah is 25 years old. She just got her first real job. She is not making a fortune, but she is smart enough to start investing early. Sarah decides to invest $200 every single month. That is it, $200. For a lot of people that is a few dinners out, a streaming subscription or 2, maybe a couple of impulse purchases on Amazon. Sarah skips those and puts that $200 into a simple index fund every month instead. She does this consistently, every single month, without fail, until she turns 65. That is 40 years of investing $200 per month. Now before I tell you what happens to Sarah's money, I want you to take a guess. How much do you think she ends up with? Keep that number in your head, because the real answer is going to surprise you. Sarah ends up with just over $525,000. Now let that sink in for a second. Sarah invested $200 a month for 40 years. If you do the basic math, that means she put in $96,000 of her own money over those 40 years. But she ends up with $525,000. That means the market, through the power of compound interest at an average annual return of 7%, turned her $96,000 into over $500,000. That extra $429,000 did not come from Sarah's paycheck. It came from time. It came from starting early and letting her money grow decade after decade after decade. Now let us talk about our second person. This is James. James is 35 years old. James spent his 20s figuring things out, paying off some debt, building his career, enjoying his life. He always knew he should be investing, but he kept putting it off. Sound familiar? At 35, James finally decides to get serious. He does exactly what Sarah did. He invests $200 every single month into the same type of index fund, earning the same 7% average annual return. The only difference is, James starts 10 years later than Sarah. He invests from age 35 all the way to 65, which is 30 years of consistent investing. Now again, before I tell you what James ends up with, I want you to think about it. He is doing the same thing as Sarah, just starting 10 years later. How much of a difference do you think 10 years really makes? James ends up with just under $243,000. $243,000. Compare that to Sarah's $525,000. James did everything right. He invested consistently every single month for 30 years. He never missed a payment. He chose the same investments. The only thing James did differently was wait 10 years to start. And that one decision, that one 10-year delay, cost him over $280,000. $280,000 lost, not because James made bad investments, not because he picked the wrong stocks, just because he waited. Just because he started at 35 instead of 25. Now let us look at our third person. This is David. David is 45 years old. David spent his 20s enjoying life, spent his 30s raising kids and paying a mortgage, and now at 45 he is finally in a position where he can start putting some money away for retirement. David is disciplined. He invests the same $200 every month, same 7% average return, from age 45 all the way to 65. That is 20 years of consistent investing. David is serious about this. He never misses a month. So how much does David end up with at 65? David ends up with just over $104,000. $104,000. Now let us put all three of these numbers side by side. Sarah started at 25 and ended up with $525,000. James started at 35 and ended up with $243,000. David started at 45 and ended up with $104,000. All three people invested $200 per month. All three people chose the same investments with the same returns. The only variable was when they started. And the difference between Sarah and David is over $420,000. $420,000 from the same $200 per month investment just because of a 20-year difference in start date. Now here is the part that really blows people's minds. Sarah put in $96,000 of her own money over 40 years. James put in $72,000 over 30 years. David put in $48,000 over 20 years. So David actually contributed the least amount of his own money. He put in $48,000 less than Sarah. But Sarah ended up with $421,000 more than David. How is that possible? That is the power of compound interest. When your money earns returns, and then those returns earn their own returns, and then those returns earn returns on top of that, over decades, the growth becomes exponential. The longer your money has to compound, the more dramatically it grows. And every single year you wait to start is a year of compounding that you can never get back. Now I know what some of you are thinking. You are thinking, Max, I am already 35, or I am already 45, or I am already past the age where starting early was an option for me. So does that mean I am just out of luck? Absolutely not. And I want to be really clear about this, because this is important. The best time to start investing was yesterday. The second best time is today. James ending up with $243,000 is still $243,000 more than if he had never started at all. David ending up with $104,000 is still $104,000 more than zero. Starting later is infinitely better than not starting. The point of showing you these numbers is not to make you feel bad about the past. The point is to make sure that starting today, right now, after watching this video, you never give yourself another excuse to wait. So why do people wait? I have talked to a lot of people about this, and the reasons almost always fall into one of three categories. The first reason is that people feel like they do not have enough money to start investing. They think investing is for rich people, or that they need to have thousands of dollars saved up before they can begin. But as we just showed, $200 a month is enough to build serious wealth over time. And if $200 feels like too much, start with $50. Start with $25. The amount matters less than the habit. Getting started is the most important step. The second reason people wait is that they feel overwhelmed by the options. They do not know which account to open, which funds to choose, which platform to use, and so they do nothing. Analysis paralysis is one of the most expensive financial mistakes you can make, because while you are sitting there trying to figure out the perfect investment strategy, time is passing and compound interest is not waiting for you. A simple decision made today beats a perfect decision made 3 years from now, every single time. The third reason people wait is that they have debt, and they feel like they need to pay it all off before they can start investing. Now this one is a bit more nuanced because not all debt is the same. High-interest debt like credit cards absolutely should be a priority. But if you are carrying lower-interest debt like a car loan or student loans, you can often do both at the same time. You can make your minimum payments on your debt while also putting a small amount into investments each month. Because the longer you wait to start investing, even while paying off debt, the more compound growth you are giving up. So what should you actually do right now after watching this video? Here is your action plan. Step 1. Open an investment account today if you do not already have one. If your employer offers a 401k, start there, especially if they offer a match. If not, open a Roth IRA. You can open one online in about 15 minutes through Fidelity, Vanguard, or Schwab. Step 2. Decide on an amount to invest every month, even if it is small. Remember, the amount is less important than the consistency. $25 a month is better than zero. Step 3. Choose a simple index fund. You do not need to pick individual stocks. A simple S&P 500 index fund is what the majority of financial experts recommend for most people, and it is exactly what our 3 characters in this video were investing in. Step 4. Set it up on automatic. Most investment platforms let you set up automatic monthly contributions, so the money moves before you even have a chance to spend it. Set it and forget it. Here is the bottom line. Time is the single most powerful force in investing. More powerful than picking the right stock, more powerful than timing the market, more powerful than any financial strategy you will ever read about. And unlike money, unlike knowledge, unlike connections, time is the one thing you can never get back once it is gone. Every month you wait is a month of compound growth that disappears forever. But every month you invest, no matter how small the amount, is a month that your money starts working for you. If this video opened your eyes to the power of starting early, do me a favor and hit subscribe, because every single week I break down topics just like this one. Real numbers, real people, real strategies. And drop a comment below and tell me, how old are you right now and when do you plan to start investing? Or if you have already started, how old were you when you began? I read every single comment and I would love to hear from you. I am Max Carter, and I will see you in the next one.